Hey guys, and welcome to new releases for the week of November 10th. We've got quite a bit to go through here, so let's just dive straight into it. First up, let's talk about Cleona Cosmetics. You know that this company has my heart. You see the products in the background. What you don't see is just how beautiful those shadows are on the inside of the palette. They have restocked a lot of their stained glass collection. They did restock on November 4th, so those are usually a hot ticket. They may be sold out of a lot of those items by the time I'm posting this video. For that, I apologize. They've also reintroduced the Woodlands Collection. So this is a bundle of 14 single pan eyeshadows. There are 6 mattes and 8 shimmers. They had this collection years ago, but they have tweaked the formula, tweaked some of the colors. And sorry, I've just noticed my lights going weird in the background. I will fix that in a moment. At any rate, this bundle is going to be $74 Canadian. All the prices for the stained glass are different, so if you're interested in any of those items, just go to the website. With the bundle and their other single pans not part of the stained glass collection, you can use a code that I have with them. It's Karat10, and that will save you 10%. It's not an affiliate code, it's just a discount code that they were kind enough to give me to pass along to you guys. I'm gonna fix the lights, then we'll move on from here. Decidedly less exciting than the Cleona bundle is this new palette from Physicians Formula. This is the Gold Vault 24 karat Gold Collagen Face Palette. It's a very awkward name. It's retailing for $18.50 US, and I don't have a launch date on it, but apparently you can see it at CVS if you happen to have a CVS, which here in Canada we don't. It just does not look inspiring in the least to me. Like, it just, like, if you look at the swatches, they all very closely resemble each other. Like, I don't want to say that they're all the exact same, because they're not, but this palette could have easily been cut in half and that would have been sufficient. This just does not inspire me in any way. It reminds me of the, is it the Honey palette from the Naked Honey, I guess, from Urban Decay? And that one never did it for me. I think people are either really liking that one or really not liking it, and I am in the camp that I just do not like it. Ergo, I do not like this one. It's just a lot of the same thing over and over again, and I can't see that these are the kind of colors that are going to lend themselves to a lot of versatility. So for me, it's a big old pass. A palette that I am very, very interested in, but have not yet decided if I'm willing to shell out the money for it, is from Pat McGrath, and this is the Divine Rose palette. And it's one of those palettes that in the past I would have just labeled it as boring and moved on. However, this is the kind of color story that I reach for on an almost daily basis when I'm doing my makeup for work. And so I do think of all of the mothership palettes that I've seen from her, this is the one that I would get the most use out of. I think it's the most approachable, the most user-friendly. I don't want to use the word versatile with this because there's not a lot of variety in tones, but I really think that this is one of those palettes that you can just grab and apply without having to put in a ton of thought into what's going to pair with what and how, you know, how to make it work. I think this is just going to be a very easily used palette, and I'm very tempted. But here in Canada, these palettes go for $170, and that is a lot of coin for a single eyeshadow palette, especially one which, as pretty as it is, and I know she has some of those unique shades which are probably in here, although from the picture I can't really tell, these are shades that I largely have. So I really don't need this palette, but I'm very tempted by it. Another palette that falls into that same kind of category of just being user-friendly and easy is this one from Charlotte Tilbury, and this is the Charlotte Darling 6-shade eyeshadow palette. Now, in the comments on this, I've seen some people saying that this is just sort of like a re-promote from a previous palette, or there's a lot of repeat shades. I'm not well versed enough in Charlotte Tilbury to really confirm or deny any of that. So if you're curious about that, or if you have some of her previous palettes, you might want to just look into that just to verify before you drop whatever the hell 54 euros is in American or Canadian dollars. I don't know what that translates to in Canadian or American, but it's going to be more than 54. That's at least for Canadians. So it's a lot of money for a 6-pan eyeshadow palette. It is very pretty. But again, I have these shades multiple times over in my collection. So I really don't need this. So there's that. Palette that I'm super stoked about and actually ordered today is one of the new ones from Melt Cosmetics. I ordered, and I forgive the pronunciation, Morte? I ordered that palette. That is the one that has the darker shades in it. The Vita palette, the one on the top, beautiful. I might order that one as well, to be perfectly honest, because I think it's absolutely gorgeous. But the one on the bottom just looked that much more unique to me and that much more compelling, if only for that reason. So I did order that one. I also ordered the lip trio because I couldn't decide between the three, so I tripled down and bought all three of them. I bought one of the gel liners. I'm not much of a gel liner fanatic. I just find liquid liner easier and faster to work with, but I did order the green one. The blue one really did catch my eye, especially with that like little bit of metallic sheen, but I have cobalt blue liner, and so I don't need another one. This green is totally different for my collection, and I think it's really pretty, so I ordered that. I hemmed and hawed. I almost ordered the entire like PR collection, but it was over $300, and that's too much. The highlighter is beautiful. I mean, the pan, stunning. Stunning. Like, this is just a piece of art in and of itself. This kind of color scheme in a highlighter, though, does not work all that well on my skin tone. I tend to have a lot more yellow in my skin, so when I put something that's like a iridescent pink on there, it just looks a little odd. So I skipped past the highlighter, although I really did want it just based on how pretty it is. But I'm so excited to get what I did order. Speaking of ordering, I was going to order some of the polishes from the new Lights lacquer line from Kathleen Lights. The two in the middle, the blue and the green, perfect. They're just beautiful, beautiful shades. I have had some of the KL polish in the past and have really liked the formula, so I imagine that these are going to perform every bit as well. The shipping was just astronomical to get it to Canada for what it is. Like, I even knocked it down to just getting one bottle, and it was like $9.50 US just for the nail polish, and then $14.50 for the shipping. And I just will not pay more for shipping than the product itself, so I said no for now. I'm hoping at some point, as the brand expands and as the line expands, that there's going to be some free shipping options down the road, or like a Black Friday sale, something like that, because these do look very, very pretty. And I would like to try them, but the shipping cost makes me think. Okay, I'm going to throw this one up fairly quickly and then probably just walk away equally as quickly. Yet another collection from Colourpop. This is a collaboration with Pony's Makeup and My Biddy. Not familiar with either of those two people, entities, things, I don't know. This looks like a palette that they've already released at least twice over. Like, at least twice over. I just don't see anything unique with this. I am not even remotely interested in any of this, and I've said it before, I'll say it again. I wish they'd slow the hell down. Just slow down. Yeah. Okay. They did release something else though, didn't they? Yes. Yes, they've released some sort of, what is it? The Hyaluronic Acid Creamy Concealer. So I've used their concealer, their whatever their initial concealer was called. I can't remember off the top of my head. I have used it. Don't dislike it. Don't love it. It's just kind of middle of the road for me. It's like $9 a bottle, so you really can't complain. That's the cost on this one as well. I think they did a terrible job in their promo pics, because these shades don't look like they would match like hardly any skin that you would see on a human. It just looks very gray. Some of them look straight up green. And I don't know if that's what the actual shades are going to look like or if that's just the promo pic and it's just a really bad representation. But these, like the pictures alone are just not selling me on it. So I'll wait and hear reviews. I'm not in a major hurry to go out and buy this. So let's just move on. Another issue with shipping costs came up when I tried to order one of the Lisa Eldridge lipsticks. The lipsticks, does it say in here how much they were? The 3-pack was £75 each, and the lipsticks, I believe, yes, were £26 each. So £26 to Canadian, I think it was in like the 35 range-ish, but then the shipping was £15 on top of that. And I did not want to be spending like upwards of $60 for a single lipstick just to try it out. They look beautiful. I love Lisa Eldridge. I think she's just so classy, and I would love to get my hands on like all of her products. But the cost is just too much. If anybody knows if they're sold anywhere beyond just her website, please let me know. Like if they're on Beauty Bay, that'd be amazing, because they offer free shipping to Canada. And I'm a stickler when it comes to shipping. I just don't like paying more than I think it's worth. So there it is. You know, I said that I had a lot to talk about, but I think it's because I've screenshotted the same things multiple times. I don't think there's really all that much, to be honest. Morphe's come out with another gigantic ass palette. This is the Electric Nights collection. 39L Hit the Lights. So, okay, there's just a bunch of names in here. I don't know what the hell it's called. I'm going to guess it's Hit the Lights. Part of the Electric Nights collection, but the palette is Hit the Lights. That's how I'm interpreting it. I don't care because I don't like Morphe, so I don't care. It's rainbow-ish enough that I'm surprised that James Charles isn't like throwing a tantrum over this, but it is his meal ticket, so perhaps he doesn't want to piss off Morphe. I don't know. Allegedly, speculation, all that good thing. I just have zero interest in this. I bought their first 39, whatever the hell it was, 39A or whatever the palette was, and it's a beast. Like it's a pain in the ass to store. It's an even bigger pain in the ass to use. I'm not wild on Morphe shadows. They're not bad. They're not. But when you open the palette, it smells like powder. Like it just has a very quote unquote cheap scent to it. That's not to say that I think Morphe is cheap. I just don't like Morphe's ethics. I don't like who they've aligned themselves with. They're really the only brand that I'm just like boo hiss at, that I just doesn't even blip on my radar. And I'm not going to apologize for that. So, I mean, people are buying it. If you're interested in it, that's completely fine. I'm not going to be offended because you don't share the same like viewpoint as I do. I'm a grown-ass woman. I can handle when people have different opinions. So that's okay. My opinion, so I'm not buying this. I'm not one bit interested. Okay, I thought that there was going to be more to talk about, but I've just screenshotted the same things, just different pictures of the same things, like 3 or 4 times. So I've confused myself into thinking that we have a ton of products, but there's really not that much to talk about. So I've got one more. And I don't know how I feel about it. And this is the new makeup line Kesha Rose from Kesha. I like Kesha. I don't know much about her, to be honest. I'm aware of the legal struggles that she's had with her contract and with the allegations of sexual assault. I believe, just based on witnessing her, I believe her story. I do, and for that reason, I think there should be, like, that is a mitigating circumstance that should allow her to open the escape hatch and get out of her contract. Those are my thoughts. I don't know enough about the situation, and certainly from what I read, like when I read it, it was ages ago, so I don't really know where it's at now. I don't know what's going on, but those are my unsolicited 2 thoughts. I was impressed as fuck when she came out with that, what the hell song was it? Praying? Is that what it's called? Yes, Praying. I didn't know that she could actually sing. She's only ever like talk sung before, and that one I was like, this girl's actually talented, like this is impressive. I don't really think of Kesha as like the pinnacle of refinement. When I think of sort of makeup icons, she's not top of mind. That's not meant to be disparaging. She has a very unique sense of style all on her own. I just don't think like that's a girl whose makeup I want to emulate. And when I look at the promo pic that they've chosen, that's reinforced. These are not promo pics that make me super excited to go out and recreate these looks or to pick up these products. Having said that, I haven't seen what's inside the palette, so I could change my mind. From a curiosity aspect, I am willing at this point to just sort of sit back and see the pictures as they come in. I'm not salivating and jumping at the chance to be one of the first people to review it. It is releasing December 3rd, so we still do have some time to go with that, but I haven't like set a reminder on my phone to remind me to go out and buy this stuff. So this is where being like a YouTube hobbyist kind of gets difficult. Because if this was my full-time job, if I was, you know, making bank with AdSense and all that kind of thing, absolutely, I would go and buy this entire collection so that I could share my thoughts with you guys. However, at the end of the day, this is not my main job. I do receive some monetary compensation for it now, but it's very minimal, very minimal. This might be the first time in November, might be the first time where I have like consecutive months of payments, because I usually have to take like 2 to 3 months to build up to the trigger of $100. So there's that, full disclosure. So while this is not overly priced makeup, the collector's box with all the items is $120 US. That's doable. Do I want to spend that on essentially rolling the dice? Because I don't know anything about this brand. I don't know anything about the formula. At this point, I don't know anything about the shade selections. Right now, I can't commit to that kind of money because I've got other priorities. So as much as I would love to share everything with you guys and get all of the collections and, you know, do reviews and all that kind of thing, it's just not feasible. It wouldn't be responsible of me as a mother to divest all of my money into that kind of thing. So that's a complete sidebar. That has nothing to do with the makeup. That's just, I've had a comment in the past where somebody said like, should you even be doing YouTube because you complain so much about the price of things? And it's like, well, I'm not necessarily complaining, but first and foremost, I'm a consumer and then I'm a YouTuber. So that's why I say this. And that's why I talk about the price, because most people who are watching, and keep in mind that I was a YouTube viewer well before, years before I ever started my channel, most people watching are consumers and they don't even necessarily have this side hobby of YouTube reviewing or even Instagram posts and all that kind of thing. So I have to keep that in mind because I think it's a very important element. Sure, something's pretty, but if you slap a $170 price tag on it, that's going to make me think long and hard about whether or not I'm willing to invest that kind of money into something because it looks pretty. You know what I mean? So that's why I talk about the price so much in these videos, and that's also why I talk about the shipping costs, because I do have Canadian followers and we're subject not only to increased shipping prices, but depending on the cost of the item that we're buying, the import fees and like duties and all that kind of thing can be out of control. Anything over $20, and that is not a high threshold when you're looking at purchasing makeup products. Anything over 20 is going to trigger import duties. There is legislation in the work to increase that to like 120 or 150, somewhere around there, but it's moving at a glacial pace. So that has not been cleared yet. So we're stuck with this $20, which hasn't been increased since the mid 80s. That was a long time ago. So it's a valid concern, and that's why I talk about it. Anyways, those were all completely beside the point of what these new products were, but I wanted to share that with you. So thank you so much for taking the time to watch. As always, I would love to hear from you down below with what you're excited about, what you're not excited about. You know the usual drill with these kind of videos. Just sound off and we'll have a little chit chat. I will see you in my next video. Until then, just be a decent human being. Bye for now. Hey guys, and welcome to new releases for the week of November 10th. There it is. Holy, we're off to an awesome start. That is the Euro sign, right? Let me try this whole thing again.